You've set your goal, you've created your plan, you put it all into your schedule, but now how do you actually get yourself to stick to it all semester long? My name is Clarissa, creator of She Rocks at College, where college women come to learn how to get better grades without the stress, overwhelm, and lack of social life. If you can't seem to get a handle on your bad habit of procrastinating, waiting until the last minute to study for your exams and to write your papers, today I'm going to teach you how to create the motivation that you need to stay on track all semester long. The technique that I'm going to teach you today, I learned from a man called Piers Steel, who wrote the book, The Procrastination Equation. I've taken his technique and his approach, his theories, and combined it with a lot of the energetic and emotional work that I've been doing. In his book, he goes over the theory and the psychology of why we procrastinate and talks about the 4 main factors that generate motivation and affect procrastination. What I'm going to do in this video is walk you through how you can take his theory and apply it to the academic setting. So let's start with talking about the 4 factors that affect motivation and procrastination. The first factor is what Piers Steel calls expectancy. I'm going to term it confidence. The reason why is because when he talks about expectancy, what he's saying is how much do you actually believe that you're capable of accomplishing this task or this goal? Do you feel like you actually have all of the qualities, the capabilities, the techniques, the tools to actually get this done, to meet that goal? So the reason why I call it confidence is because how confident are you that you can achieve it? The second factor is value. So how much does this homework assignment, this goal, this paper actually mean to you? How much do you care about it? Do you see it getting you to the bigger picture of graduating and getting the job it is that you want at the end of graduation? How much value does it have to you? How much do you care about it? The third factor is called impulsiveness, or I'm rephrasing it to say your desire to feel good right now. So when Piers Steel talks about impulsiveness, he's talking about those moments where you know that you need to get a paper done, but your friends come over and they're asking you to go out with them, and in the moment, the paper's making you feel awful. It seems like it's going to be hard work, but hanging out with your friends, that's easy, that feels good. And so we have a natural tendency as humans to want to go towards pleasure and move away from pain. The paper is causing us pain, so of course our impulse, our natural nature is to go towards the pleasure. So how likely are you to pick the thing that feels good in the moment versus doing the thing that you know is going to be hard, but it's going to make you feel good in the long run? And the last factor is delay, and we're talking about time here. So the further away something is from you being able to see the finish line, the less likely you are to do or take any action that's going to help you get there. So this is what happens when you get a paper at the beginning of the semester that's not going to be due to the end, and you wait until the last minute because there is no pressure. There's no urgency for you to get it done in this moment. So here are the factors plugged into Piers Steel's procrastination equation. So motivation equals confidence multiplied by value divided by impulsiveness multiplied by delay. Now our goal is to have our motivation to be really high. And all motivation is movement, it's action, it's a desire to achieve something, which is the complete opposite of procrastination, which is not doing, not taking action. Are you with me? Because if our goal is to have our motivation to be really high, if what we want is a great deal of motivation, and you're familiar with math and division, then you know that what our goal needs to be is to increase our confidence and to increase how important the work that we're doing now on a daily basis, so that our numerator, meaning that top number, is really high. Because if the numerator is really high and the denominator, the factors on the bottom, are low, then our motivation is going to be a higher number, meaning we're going to have more motivation, which is our goal. So we want the distractions, impulsiveness, to be really low. And we want the time frame in which we need to complete things to be shorter so that those bottom numbers are lower, so that our confidence or outcome is a higher number. So how do we do this for each of those factors? I mean, where does our confidence come from? Where does value for the things that we're doing on a daily basis in college come from? Where does our aversion to displeasure come from in our misconceptions about time? Well, in my research, in the emotional and energetic and psychological research that I've been doing, it really all stems from our thoughts. What we're thinking about ourselves, what we're thinking about the assignment, what we're thinking about our professors, what we're thinking about time, what we're thinking about the bigger picture. These thoughts that we're thinking produce an emotion in us. The emotion can be an emotion that we want to feel, like happiness, makes us feel really good, or it can be an emotion that feels uncomfortable. And whenever we feel an emotion that feels uncomfortable, our instinct, the way that we were built, is to dull it, to minimize it, to not feel it. Either way, whether you're feeling good emotions or you're feeling bad emotions, it's clear that if we want to increase our confidence, if we want to increase, the value that we see in the daily work as a student, if we want to minimize distractions, and if we want to have a different conception about time, we need to become aware of our thoughts. So the first step in creating motivation and increasing our motivation is to become aware of what we're thinking and to become aware of when we're procrastinating. The second step is to find out why we're procrastinating. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling like you want to avoid the work, where washing the dishes becomes more pleasurable than sitting down and reading this chapter, I want you to start to notice the thoughts that are going through your head. Write them down if you want to. Are they thoughts like, I'm not good at math. No matter the amount of work that I put in, I'm still gonna fail this exam. I haven't been able to pass a course yet in college. This is too hard. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do this. No one is helping me. I don't want to miss out on all the social things that college has to offer. Going out sounds like a lot more fun right now. I'm always studying and I never have time to relax. I don't have time for this. This is such a stupid assignment. I don't understand why professors keep giving me busy work. How the hell does this relate to what I'm gonna do in the future anyway? I'm confused. I don't get this. I don't understand this. I feel like I'm not making any progress. I read all the chapters for the last exam and it made no damn difference. I still failed. I'm not smart enough for this. Notice those thoughts, because those thoughts are producing an emotion that you're gonna want to either lean into or run away from. The third step, after you've listed out all of the thoughts that are coming up for you when you're in the midst of procrastination, is to identify which factor those thoughts apply to. Is this thought a confidence issue about my abilities as a student? Is this a value issue for me? Do I not see the importance or the relevance to what it is that I'm trying to do in the future or with my major? Is it a delay issue where I'm not feeling the pressure of getting this done right now? Is there not any urgency around it? Or is it an issue where doing this thing, taking this action causes me so much discomfort because either I don't know where to start or it's too hard or I'm confused, makes me want to do something like watch Netflix that makes me feel good in the moment. While getting an A on this will make me feel good when I get the A, while I'm doing it, it doesn't feel good. So I want to do something that feels good right now. So go through all of those thoughts and identify what they belong to, which one of the factors they belong to. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to think about this question. How do I act when I believe the thought? So how do I act when I believe the thought that this is too hard? How do I act when I believe the thought that no one's helping me? How do I act when I believe the thought that I'm not smart enough? How do I act when I believe the thought that I'm gonna miss out on some fun? How do I act when I believe the thought that I'm not good at math? How do I act when I believe the thought that there isn't enough time? How do I act when I believe the thought that I'm confused? When you can answer that question, you will begin to see where the procrastination is coming from, because when you're thinking the thought, it produces an action, and most of the time the action is whatever you're doing to procrastinate. The last step in creating motivation, inspiration, the desire to want to get the things that you need to get done to be able to get the good grades and to graduate and to go on and live your best life. Now that you know what's truly causing your procrastination, the thoughts, and how those thoughts are producing an emotion, and how that emotion is impacting the way that you're acting or the actions that you're taking or not taking. Now what we have to do is, now that we know which factor we need to adjust, is to actually come up with the actions that we're going to take to impact that factor. Now the beauty of this goal setting series that I've been doing here on YouTube is that a lot of the videos have already been created so that they impact each of these factors. So if you go back and you watch video number 1, I'm having you answer questions that will help you see the value in why you're in college, in why you're taking the courses, in why you're completing the homework assignments. It gives what you're doing meaning. And when you give something meaning, it becomes important to you. If you go back and you watch video 2 and 3, I help you to walk through some of the things that make you prone to procrastinating, which is being overwhelmed or not knowing where to start. I help you to start breaking things down, to figure out how to study and to give yourself the confidence that you need. Now, this video that I'm filming right now, where I'm talking to you, incorporates a lot of the factors that I'm talking about. But I think it's gonna have the biggest impact on boosting your confidence. Your belief that you are smart enough, capable enough, and worthy enough of college and academic success. Especially after I teach you about my academic scorecard, which I'm going to go into in a second. This academic scorecard is going to make it visible for you to see the progress that you're actually making as a student. It's going to help you see how you're winning on a daily basis. And when you can see that you're winning, and when you can see that you're making progress, there is nothing better that will boost your confidence than that progress, than seeing how you're progressing, how you're improving, how you're doing it, how you're succeeding. If you want to constantly be motivated and inspired by yourself, you have to learn to fall in love with the process. You have to fall in love with the daily actions that lead to the end result of you getting the grade, landing the internship, graduating college, and going on to pursue whatever career it is that is on your heart. What I need you to understand is that this is real life. College is preparing you for real life. When you go out into the real world, there's no one that's gonna give you a medal for getting out of bed and brushing your teeth. You have to celebrate those accomplishments for yourself. As seemingly insignificant as getting out of bed and brushing your teeth is, that's the first step to the rest of your day. You have to love the seemingly insignificant actions that you're taking every day as a student and celebrate them. Treat them like they matter just as much as an A does, because they do. They are the actions that get you to the A. So if you can fall in love with that process, A's are going to be inevitable for you. So you have to create the excitement for yourself, the inspiration for yourself. And one of the ways that I teach students to do that is by keeping an academic scorecard. It's basically just a tracking system where you take the plan that I helped you create in video 2 and 3, and every single time you do something on that plan, you check it off. I know it seems really silly and stupid, and like checking something off a list isn't going to make that big of a difference, but it does. When you sit down at the end of the week and you review that tracking system and you see that, wow, from last week to this week, I read 2 more chapters than I had read in the past, or I got so much more done, or I was able to get up 1 time and make it to class. When you can see and prove to yourself that you're doing it, that you're capable of it, your self-confidence is going to improve. The problem is that we don't take time to notice what is different, to notice all of the things that we're doing well. We just want to focus on all the negative, all the things that we're not doing. So of course, then it becomes easy for us to talk negatively about ourselves and to say nothing's happening for us and that nothing's working and that nothing's changing. But are you actually taking the time to take notice of it, to focus on what you're doing well? With the academic scorecard, I also have some reflection questions that I often give the students that I work with. And if you want a copy of the academic scorecard and those reflection questions, I'm going to put a link for you to download it below so that I can send it to your email inbox and that you can have it and start using this tracking system to start boosting your confidence, which is going to boost your motivation and decrease your procrastination. You need to understand that confidence is a byproduct. It's a byproduct of doing hard things. The only way to boost your confidence is to take the actions even when it's hard, even when it's challenging, even when it looks like nothing is happening. That's what builds resiliency. And when you can make yourself proud like that for doing the hard things, for continuing to move forward, even when it feels like nothing's happening, your self-confidence will naturally flourish. And that's the whole point of this video, is to help you create that confidence and that motivation that will have you stop procrastinating less this semester. So I want to hear from you in the comments. What were some of the thoughts that go through your head when you're procrastinating? And what factor did you find that they lie in the most? And what are you going to do to change it? If you have any questions, you can also leave them in the comments. I will respond to it. Or you can send me an email to clarissa@girlbudgetlife.com. I hope that you have a great day, and thank you so much for watching my videos.